Alright, so thank you for watching my first ever Lush haul. I've just invested in a new back loofah. Let's start that over. So thanks for tuning in to my new channel, Bath Nerd. I figure it's about time that I start putting some videos back out there, considering I spend so much of my free time watching reviews and demos and watching your Lush hauls. This is my turn to say a little bit about my products that I adore. So the shopping trip I made today is pretty small compared to my usual Lush trips, but I thought it was time to stock up on some of the essentials, and I'm waiting on two big orders, one from Lush UK and one from Lush Canada from the spring chat party. They're not actually that big, but for me they are, because I've never ordered online before. So I thought I would just show you guys what's getting me through until those arrive. The first things are not actually from Lush, but they're Lush related. I bought a new loofah for my back with a nice long handle, because I've started finding that I don't enjoy the soaps as much if I'm not getting a good lather from them. I know lather doesn't actually relate to clean, but it does relate to my enjoyment of the soaps, and I really need a new loofah. So this one's for my back, and this one's just a standard bath poof, just from the dollar store, but I thought I'd include them just because I know some people don't use loofah for their soap and some people really do. I find that it really increases my enjoyment of my products, so worth it for me. So without any further delay, first thing I bought was the good old standby. This is the Comforter Bath Bar, Bubble Bar. I find that in a perfect world I can get about 6 uses out of one of these, so I'll cut it down the middle and then I'll cut it again twice to have 6 little square pieces. If I'm feeling really indulgent, I might just cut it into 4. The first time I used it, I used half, and my bubbles were so big that it actually spilled over the side of my tub, and there wasn't even that much water in it. So I've learned that a little goes a long way with the Comforter. It's primarily a black currant fruity kind of smell, but there's also this sort of soft, almost flowery, lingering scent that it has. So it's kind of like a bath of candy that leaves you smelling sweet and fresh and flowery when you're done. So I love the Comforter. I'm actually waiting on the lotion and the body gel, the shower gel, from the chat party the other night because I'm hooked. I can't get enough of the Comforter. I also bought a nice bath bomb that goes well with it. It's the Blackberry Bath Bomb, and it's similar. It's got a strong black currant and blackberry smell. It's very fruity, but I find this one also is really nice and moisturizing. I end up with really soft skin when I get out of the bath, so I really, really like the Blackberry Bath Bomb. It's only the second time I've used it, but I'm thinking that it'll go really well with this Comforter Bubble Bar, and honestly, I could use some Comforter tonight. It's not that bad of a day, but it's a Monday, and you know, Mondays. This, I find, is just such an all-purpose bath melt. It's the Happy Blooming Cherry and Calamine Bath Melt. I buy this one a lot because it's really easy to break into 3 pieces, and I find that it just adds that nice touch of like soothing moisture to my bath. So apart from smelling wonderful and turning the water a beautiful color, it actually is just really nice to my skin. And I'm in Quebec, here in Canada. Our winters are crazy, and we just had snow on the weekend. It was April 13th and it was snowing, you know? So not okay. My poor skin, it's tired, it's dry, it needs some love, and the calamine in that bath melt is just wonderful. I also have something that I'm starting to consider a must-have, but that's pretty new for me, and that's the Buffy Body Bar, or Body Butter. I know some people swear by this. I'm still new to the Buffy. I tried it and I found all the crushed nuts were a little too rough for me in the shells, and it was actually hurting my skin. So I tried the Aqua Mirabilis, and now my skin is used to it. I'm getting rid of some of those nasty reddish bumps on my shoulders and my back of my arms. And you know, it says, you know, for smoother bottoms and backs of your legs, just everywhere where you get dry, nasty skin and all those yucky bits. So I'm moving back up to Buffy because I like the actual moisture in it better, and it's just a gentle smell, you know, that almondy, nutty kind of smell. I love these tins. They're a lifesaver. So I figure every time I buy a product, I'm going to buy one. unless I have a spare one in my house, just because I use them for other things when I don't have the product in them, and in the meantime, they make my collection look pretty and it protects them. So I really like that. I got a new Toothy Tabs box, which was actually the reason for my trip. And I find that so typical of Lush. I go for one product, one $5 product, and I end up dropping 50 bucks just because there's enough things that make me feel good and excited about taking baths and showers and just like hygiene in general, that I end up staying and buying a little bit of everything. So this one is actually the Choo Choo I Love You Toothy Tabs. The last ones I used were the Breath of God. The Breath of God was nice, but there was a lot of that fennel taste, and I just found them a little too earthy for me for first thing in the morning. I didn't mind before bed, but it wasn't a nice way to start my day. Now this one is supposed to be similar to the Rose Jam Bubble Room. It's supposed to have a rose and lemon sort of taste to it, so I'm thinking it might be gentler in the morning, but either way, I am sure I'm going to love it. I adore these Toothy Tabs. I hate toothpaste. I find that it burns my mouth, and I just ended up dreading brushing my teeth. Now they're kind of fun. You get to crunch a little bit. They froth up nice and big as long as you have a good wet toothbrush, and they're unique, the taste. It's not the same old minty burn. It's a little bit different every time, and it's just, I'm really enjoying them. My teeth are happier and cleaner and more sparkly than they've ever been, and I can leave a nice little Tupperware container of these in my mailbox at school, so I can brush my teeth after lunch break and not be the teacher with the stinky breath and the yicky stuff in my teeth. It's really enjoyable. I also, on the recommendation of my sales associate, she suggested I try the Kiss lip balm, and I tried it in store and it was wonderful. In French, it's Le Baiser, which is funny because it actually has the French label on it. So it's always interesting buying products I'm familiar with in English here in Quebec, just because they're always that little bit different, but I don't mind, it's still wonderful. It's a really smooth whipped lip balm, and it's got a nice gloss to it, but no real color, just the teeniest little pink sheen. And I think it's like a strawberry-ish kind of smell. It's something very fruity, but it's very light and very sweet. So, a perfect kiss. I might as well put this on. And now, everyone's favorite part is the samples. The other reason I went to the store today was to get face masks, because I'm finding as winter's coming to an end, my dry skin isn't really getting any better on my cheeks, and I needed something to moisturize and soften, and then hopefully something to take away some of the redness. So I had a couple masks in mind, but unfortunately my store was out of pretty much everything. The only mask they had left was Brazened Honey, and my skin's pretty sensitive, especially on my face, and she said it's very warming, it has a really strong feeling, so maybe not the best bet. Definitely not what I was looking for, but she did recommend Seaweed, which I've tried once before, but I wasn't too sure about it, so she gave me what was left of their sample. So I have a nice little sample thing of Seaweed face mask, which I'm probably going to use shortly. You can see in there, it's got the little pieces of seaweed, and it's got definitely the oceany scent of some sea salt and some seaweed, but there's something else there too, like maybe lavender or rose, something almost florally underneath it. But it's very gentle and very smooth feeling, except the little seaweed bits that exfoliate just a little bit. Not a lot, which is good, because my skin is, like I said, kind of a baby. It's very, very sensitive sometimes. And they also gave me a sample of the Miranda soap, which I've never tried. I've actually stuck almost exclusively to the glycerin-based soaps. Karma is my favorite. I also really, really enjoy Sea Vegetable and Sexy Peel, but I don't buy them very often. And I have the Godmother, which I'm using up right now as well. I also have Ice Blue, but I don't really like the Ice Blue, honestly. It's not minty enough to be a mint soap. It's not citrusy enough to be a citrus soap. It's just kind of okay for me. I'm not minding it, but it's taking a while to use up. So let's look at the Miranda soap, because I didn't open it. That's the piece I got. a creamy green, and it definitely smells like the kiwi that they say is in it. And also, I can't place it, honestly. Let me look at the tab. Kiwi and orange. It might be an orange scented smell that I'm getting. It's just something sweeter than kiwi. Because you know how kiwi is kind of tart and it's good, but it's not over the top sweet. This is a lot sweeter than what I usually think of with kiwi. Whatever it is, I like it, and it's so creamy looking. I'm really excited to try it with my new loofahs. So we'll see how I like that. I'll probably slice it in half and get a couple good uses out of it. I usually cut my soaps into single use or a couple use size bars so that I don't just let them wash away in my shower. But the result of that is that my soaps last me a really, really long time, and I end up stockpiling samples. So it's not a bad thing. It's just what happens. So yeah, this is my mini Lush haul. It's not a lot. It cost me about 50 bucks. And it's got a little bit of everything, but not a lot of anything. So in my coming hauls, there's a lot of bubble bars. I really stock up on bubble bars. Some bath bombs, a new shampoo, and then everything else in between as I pop in for one item and end up with 6. So keep watching. I would love that. Feel free to comment, subscribe. You can check out my Tumbler. I'll put a link to it in the comments down below, and maybe also in the video if I can figure that out. And yeah, I plan to demo and review some of these, so I'll let you guys know how I feel about them, what combinations they work well in, and any of the new products, if I'm thinking I'll repurchase them or if they were a one-shot deal for me. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you see me, and I'll see you again soon.